New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
What's going on? This is JLS from Nick of Time Show here, giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And this was a tough one, man. This is a tough one. At least it seemed like the Knicks were in the thick of it. We were up early. Biggest lead for these Knicks was 16 points. We was up by 16 at one point in the game. These Hornets, they cut it down to 9. But at the end of the day, we fall to those Hornets, 104-96. And you know, it was a tough loss. Like this team, man. The second unit is still so exciting. And check these stats out. You might have seen these stats floating around. But among all 5-man units in the NBA, according to the league's tracking data, the worst cumulative plus minus in the league is the Knicks starting 5.
Bruh.
Yeah, losing by an average of 64 points.
Bruh.
Yikes.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, the best 5-man team in the NBA happens to beat our second unit, New York Knicks. 19.9 points per 100 possessions among all 5-man units that have logged at least 50 minutes together this season. The most efficient and effective crew in the league. Gunshots for the second unit once again, and they almost did it again. We were down in the third quarter. Crazy. The Nuggets, the Hornets jumped out the third quarter, scoring 10 points to 1. Got down. Second unit comes back in, does it again. Alec Burks, Emmanuel Quickly, Derrick Rose, and company, Obi Toppin, get this lead back up 93-91. But after the starting units come back in and the second unit kind of collapses again, all of a sudden the lead again evaporates. He had 2 turnovers. We had Randall missing badly on fadeaway shots. We have Randall missing 4 straight free throws. And that's all she wrote for this team. All she wrote, 104-96. I saw some glimpses of hope in the beginning in the first unit. Maybe there's something to build on. But we'll talk about it. And you know what it is, man. We lost. So when they lose, I can't stand to do it. I can't stand to read the stats. So I'll pass it off to my guy, Ryan G.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, this was just a pretty terrible game overall right here. The starting lineup, again, just terrible all around. Kemba Walker had a great first half. I think he had 17 points in the first half. Or I should say the first quarter, I should say. He ended up with 26, but he also had the worst plus minus on the team with minus 23, which is not good. Evan Fournier only 5 points. I mean, $80 million man. I mean, you need more from Evan Fournier, most definitely. Mitchell Robinson, 11 points, 6 rebounds. Mm-hmm. Again, he's the one with the best plus minus in the starting lineup, minus 9. Julius Randle, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 4-15 from the field. My man couldn't buy a basket, minus 18. RJ Barrett.
Oof.
He's still Badman Barrett to me, but right now he's gone missing. Like he's on a really cold tear right now. Only 2 points, 1 of 9 shooting from the field.
Yikes.
4 rebounds. But again, it's the bench that stepped up for the Knicks. Alec Burks especially.
Yeah.
15 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, which is pretty good from Alec Burks.
I'm sorry.
Derrick Rose again, highest plus minus from the bench players, plus 15, had 8 points.
Okay.
Quickly 9 points. Obi Toppin 7 points. So I mean, you know, again, it's the bench that got the Knicks back into the game, as you said. And then when you go to team stats now, the Knicks dominated the boards 65-58, and overall, Charlotte shot better from the field, 43% to the Knicks, 38.7%. Points in the paint, Charlotte definitely dominated there. Second chance points, Charlotte dominated there as well.
Yeah.
19-14, and yeah, that's all she wrote. Like, this is a game where the Knicks, again, the second unit came roaring back, but at the end of the day, once that starting unit came back into the game, that was pretty much a wrap. Charlotte just took the game from there.
Yeah, man. It's certain things to talk about. Let's just first talk about. All right, the first quarter, right? The first quarter. What went right to you in the first quarter? Because I saw Kemba going off.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him being more aggressive. I saw him hitting threes, and I saw him actually getting to the basket.
Yeah.
I saw a floater. I saw him breaking down defense. These are things I want to see Kemba do on a more consistent basis.
Yeah.
Seeing that in the first quarter kind of gave me some hope a little bit.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you've been watching the games lately, Kemba has really gotten off the cold starts. Like the last few games or so, and seeing Kemba come out to that, to scoring 17 points against his old team, that definitely gave the Knicks hope, that definitely gave the Knicks a boost, because Kemba Walker's, like, in the starting lineup, I believe Kemba Walker's that, X factor, whatever extra we get from Kemba Walker is definitely a plus, and he gave us that plus. The issue is that when the third quarter came, when the Knicks had the lead, the first unit just went cold, and you already know they can't defend. So if the first unit's not scoring and they turn over the ball, and Charlotte's just responding and they're not defending, everything just goes wrong for the first unit.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I'm buying. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm buying, because the first unit held this team in the first quarter. Goes to the summary. We played pretty good defense in the first quarter. The first unit, like I do feel like Julius Randle. He was like a plus 16 or something in the first quarter, and he only he had 0 points.
Yeah,
he had 0 points. He only shot the ball twice, and he was a plus 16. You know why? Kemba was going off. He concentrated all his energy defending Miles Bridges. Anytime they kicked out to the 3-point line, watch that first quarter again. You gotta watch that first quarter. There were no open 3-pointers in that entire first quarter. None.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. Like, I think I wrote down the stats somewhere by halftime. Like, because the Hornets, they're like the number one 3-point percentage shooting team in the NBA, and I think they hit like two for 17 from 3 at the half. And
Charlotte shot terribly from 3 this game.
Yeah. So, like, this Knicks team is worst in the NBA at allowing open threes. Like we said before, they like to concentrate their defense in the paint, and they're pretty good at that. We have Mitch over there. We have Noel when he's healthy, but they really fail to cover the 3-point line after they protect the paint, and they did a phenomenal job of that, the first unit, in the first quarter. So something to build on. We had a positive first quarter from the first time in a long time since the Celtics game from the first unit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those things. The off-ball movement was better in the first quarter. Like, I feel like we started the game off, the ball was whipping around the 3-point line. Evan Fournier got some nice, clean, open looks in the corner. Julius Randle was patient. It just seemed like there was a better flow to the game. So I'm grasping at straws here because we lost this game. But we got to start somewhere. We have to start. I think a lot of it is going to be like building habits, trusting each other, and just kind of figuring out the balance of these shots. But it seemed like even in the first game with the Knicks versus Celtics, maybe it is best if Julius doesn't dominate the first quarter and just kind of does like, these other stars and just let everybody else eat in that first quarter and work his way in.
Yeah, man. Like, because I've always preached throughout these podcasts that Knicks first unit, with them not being a good defensive unit, they're a team that if the first unit is clicking on offense, that just encourages their defense. And that seemed like that was the case in the first quarter, because it seemed like you had Kemba going off.
Right.
The first unit was clicking on offense, looked like. And in turn, that helped their defense. And that's how the Knicks were able to jump out to like a 16-point lead.
Right.
But I feel like whenever the offense gets stagnant, like when they're throwing up shots and the shots are not going in, it's like with the first unit that hurts their defense. Yeah. And then they allow teams to just dominate and then when you look, then all of a sudden you see them down by 8, 10 points out the blue.
Yeah, but it's funny because most NBA teams have like an ISO guy to go to at the end of the game, and the thing is, like, I know, okay, Julius did take some bad shots today, but there weren't that many. Like, I feel like there wasn't that many bad shots. Like, I feel like he was patient for most of the time, and I guess the downside of him not shooting was when it got time, the crunch time. Maybe he wasn't in rhythm. Maybe that's what maybe he didn't get the touches he felt like to be in rhythm because he's missing free throws. I don't know. I'm spitballing here.
Yeah.
maybe the ratio is different. I don't know. It just seemed like it just seemed like he doesn't really missing 4 free throws in a row is bananas.
Yeah, that's a bro. Yeah, that's a bro right there.
That's the bruh. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with this team. I don't know what's up with this team in this first unit.
Yeah, me neither. And like you said, like looking at the game, like I wouldn't say the Knicks took a lot of bad shots.
Yeah.
The Knicks took pretty good shots, but I don't know because I overheard, after the post game with Alan Hahn and Wally Zerbiak and those guys, and they're thinking that it's because they have too much egos in that first unit and they just haven't I guess they haven't like really figured out who should be like the main guy in the first unit and who should be like the secondary guys in first. I don't know if that's really affecting like the chemistry. Like I don't know because it's night and day with the first unit. Like there's times when the first unit looks really really good and look like world beaters, and then there's times when the first unit just looks like they're just iso balling or there's no ball movement but I don't know. I don't because
you think it's egos? Who? All right. So like to me, if we're really talking about egos, like the biggest egos would probably be Randall and RJ to me, right? And I'm when I say that, I'm not even saying it in a negative way or that these guys are just like bad teammates or anything. But to me, when I'm looking at games from this year, last year, and years before, the guys who care more about shooting the ball, visually, are those two guys. Because we still remember, when RJ doesn't get the ball, you see him start to clap, you see him start to snarl. Like to me, that's a guy who likes the ball in his hands, and the same thing for Julius Randle. Kemba, on the other hand, we want him to be more aggressive. Yeah, and he has no ego at all. And I think that's affected him. Like, sometimes you feel like, okay, well, Kemba, maybe you should take over right now because you're the guy who's an all-star, has the most ball skills. He has no ego. And I think that kind of, let the leash go way too long for a Randall doing too much ISO. So I'm not sure what they're saying is absolutely true. I do feel like there's a balance that hasn't really happened yet. Yeah. And I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but we're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah, most definitely, because even though the Knicks have the best second unit in the league pretty much, and the second unit plays like as if they're the first unit, at the end of the day, like, I don't think you can have that big of a discrepancy between the first unit and the second unit and you be a great team. Like, something has to be done with the first unit to where the first unit can at least, like, hold teams, even if it's, like, on an even – even if it's on like an even like score wise, like, just at least hold the team to where like maybe you're down by 2 or at least you're tied. Right. And then when the unit comes in, that second unit just blows them away. Right. But you can't have that much of a difference between the second unit and the first unit expect to be successful.
Yeah, I feel you. I think right now we just build on these baby steps, right? We play great defense in that first quarter. I think what we should do, Ryan, is technically start the first unit right now. Yeah. But treat them like the second unit as far as mistakes. You know? Like, all right, cool, you're starting, but if you start to slip up, like, we pulling you. Like, we pulling you to keep them on their toes. Because to me, that first quarter of defense happened because they sat that fourth quarter of the game before. I think you have to keep that accountability up to keep these guys hustling on the defensive end. And also, we gotta watch how we gotta watch our health, not our health, but like I do still feel like in that third quarter, we have to watch minutes too. Like we started to lose in the third quarter. I feel like Randall was getting tired a little bit, and maybe it's because he's mixing the offense and defense more and expending more energy. But I feel like that the attention to detail and defensive end that he showed on Bridges didn't happen. Also, I feel like RJ's cookies were taken in that third quarter. Like 3 straight plays out the gate.
Yeah.
Brendan Haywood backdoor goes to not even a back door. It was like a front door cut because he went in front of RJ. It gets an easy basket, and then like another little curl play scores on RJ again. So it's just like you have a lot to clean up here. We have a lot to clean up. We have to hold this first unit accountable like we did the last game, and keep these guys on a shorter leash because the second unit's getting it done. They are, and
pretty much.
And I feel like if they could have played more minutes, because they started to gas after the comeback, like it might have been a different story, or maybe we made the wrong substitution. Because shout out to Knicks Nation TV. Like I don't understand why they took Obi out in the fourth. I don't understand why they took Obi out in the fourth quarter after he has the breakaway dunk and like.
I don't know either, because to me Obi was one of the best players in the fourth quarter, and he was playing with energy. I was like, why you taking Obi out the game? Like, I didn't understand it either.
You don't have Mitch. You have Obi playing well. He's getting to every loose ball. Every 50-50 play he's winning.
Yeah.
Taj has 5 fouls. Small ball. Bring in Randall. Have him be at the 5. Obi at the 4. Like, come on, son. Like, I don't understand. And I'm no NBA coach, but and shout out to Knicks Nation for making that call. But he's right, man. That should have been the move. I don't know.
And to be honest about it, if I was Coach Thibs, like, I understand why Kemba was back in there, because I think Derrick Rose tweaked something. So
yeah, he tweaked his ankle.
Anyway. But honestly, if it was me, that was the only substitution I'd make it. I'm keeping Kemba out there with the rest of the second unit, being like, yo, y'all take us home, because nobody in the first unit has shown me anything for me to even want them to put them back in the game in the fourth quarter to try to win that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that they were gassed. I mean, they try to keep Alec Burks in. They try to go quickly in. Shout out to Alec Burks, because we haven't really talked about Alec Burks that much. So I'm giving you the gunshots to Alec Burks because he did his thing today. I feel like he had like this first like really really standout-ish game, but him and Quickly really did a good job on this game. And before we even get to them, let me get to these two calls because I know they've been waiting patiently. But if you want to talk to us, man, you already know what to do. It's 319-527-6241 if you want to talk Knicks basketball on the KOT show. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here talking Knicks basketball on a Friday night. So salute to everybody who's rocking with the KOT show. Because y'all are dedicated. Y'all supposed to be getting drunk and partying, but y'all here. All right, man. Yo, first caller up. State your name, where you from, and I already know you got some gripes, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, it was good, fellas. Wagwan Ryan's JT.
What's going on, JT, man?
This one was rough. This one. I'm gonna need some insurance on my TV because of these Knicks games.
Whew.
Like this one, yeah. But you know what's alarming is Kemba was on fire, but it's like his legs gave out like the second, third quarter.
Yeah.
And is it did they seem like tired? Like I don't like.
Yeah.
If they had a late flight, if they turned up, I don't know, man. They need to hit up Styles P, get that pharmacy for life, and get that juicing going or something. Because they seem tired.
Yeah.
They really seem tired, and it's really. And is really starting to get alarming because there's just something just seems off. Something really seems off with them. And I'm gonna specifically say like Julius the most because RJ, unfortunately, we want him to. He's playing like RJ. He has his off games. He has his good games. It's still early in the season, but this is what he's been. It's not like it just seems like the grit isn't there. Like
Right.
I know because you see it in spurts. Like we'll defend like. They get paid millions of dollars to do, and then there's times where they just like screw it, they don't care, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like the thing about it is, like we say all the time, we don't envy these coaches. We all could coach from our phones and keyboards and whatever, but we don't envy them because like we do need to have shorter leashes on the starting unit.
Yeah.
But then now you got to deal with egos, and you got to deal with
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah.
You got to deal with people's head in the game, because at the end of the day, it is a business, and you don't want. And then let's say, because me personally, I just, it's the tale of two units. I don't, I'm seeing people like, oh, start quick or start roll. I just, like I said when I called last time, it's a whole unit thing. Like they hold, like Kimba ain't gonna feed Obi the way Rose feed Obi. Rose and Quick feed Obi.
Right.
So it's something that's like, it's really hard to put your finger on, like, okay, what is really the problem? Because the thing about it is, my personal opinion, I don't think that it's fool's gold. Like, like now of course, everybody's jumping out the window saying, "Oh, we trash. We're gonna go 22-60." Oh, they're getting dramatic. Of course, it is what it is.
Right.
At the end of the day, like I said, losing streaks is gonna happen. But what's really alarming is, like I said, it seems like it's a real chemistry issue. It's like everyone, like I said, they're all on a different sheet of music versus the second unit. So it ain't really. It's just watching these games is really upsetting. Like I said, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I got faith until until we got like 40 L's in the column.
I feel you. I'm with it, man. I still got faith too, man.
Yeah, that's how, because we had a 9-game winning streak last season. Why can't we do it again this season? So that's always my, and that's the way I go into this thing. Because like I said, I do believe that we're that team. Defensively, it's like I said, we really got to figure something out. We really have to. I don't know if we're gonna make trades. I don't want to make trades, but the reality of it is, like I keep saying, you cannot bump a third stringer up straight to the first string.
Nah,
or the politics. Like, even though he's good, we're not saying that he can't do it, like, skill wise, but you already know the politics that come with this. You can't sit a guy that you're almost paying almost $80 million and he's averaging 8 minutes a game. He's going, and then because now what are you doing? You got to move him. But how are you going to move him when he's not playing? He's not looking good.
Yeah.
Like, because that contract ain't like, that's not Austin Rivers' contract. Austin Rivers' contract was real easy to move. This is a contract that's going to take some, if we're even talking about that. So that's just, it's a lot. It's very, very concerning. I will say I am actually worried, because I'm just figuring out what's going on, because it really seems like, I'm like, do y'all got to watch Coach Carter or something? Or remember, what is going
Word.
on with that?
You got to watch Coach Carter.
Something ain't right. Like,
you got to watch Whoopi Goldberg preach to y'all. Like, what's up?
Seriously, I'm like, yo, call Whoopi. Whoopi. Have her come talk to y'all.
Facts.
She could, like, it's something. I don't know, man. I don't know. But like I keep saying, man, all 82,
man.
Always. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all show these fellas the love that they deserve. And I'm out. I'm going to call back next time. But right now, we still here.
Yeah,
so
man.
We tight.
We still here.
I'm tight.
We still here. We tight. We still here, though. All 82, Knicks squad, man.
Right, fellas. Peace.
All right, peace. Thanks, JT. Thanks, JT, for calling. Yeah, and Ryan can't really hear right now. He still has some technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties, so I can't really hear the calls, unfortunately.
Right. But pretty much what we were saying, Ryan, was we lacked energy, and that first unit lacked energy. Mm-hmm. And he's worried that because the first unit lacked energy, like that something is going on. Like, were they partying, or and maybe they need some juicing. Get some juices from the Styles and them, Styles P and them. Like, they need help. And I totally agree with you, man. I talked about this the game before. Like, it seems like when they exert their energy early, they can't sustain it for long periods of time. They look tired. In spots. And Kemba too. I think it looked like Kemba's legs started to give out a little bit at the end. Like, he did really well. He was getting to the hole, but it looked like he was lacking a little bit of lift when it came to the fourth quarter. When he got to the rim. So maybe we can't play him super long minutes. And you know what? When Derrick Rose had it going, like, Derrick has his pulse on a game, because when Quickly started to like tip her off a little bit, he started to take over. And this game could have been different if he didn't tweak his ankle, because he started to hit that floater, and maybe it'd have been different. But this is why you have Kemba to finish games off, and it didn't happen for us today, man. It just didn't happen.
It's unfortunate, because Kemba was really the only starter that had it going.
Right.
Everybody else was pretty much cold in the starting lineup. So Kemba can only do so much. So
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah. Knicks Nation says our schedule's getting tougher. Our schedule's getting tougher. Who's the next 3 games we have? I know we have all home games, so that might be tough for us because we've been losing at home.
Yeah, the thing is that it's not like they're great teams. Like we have the Pacers. The Pacers to beat the Jazz the other night, I believe, but the Pacers are still under 500.
Right.
And then after that is the Magic, where the Knicks should beat the Magic, but the Knicks is like, you just never know. So
Right, you just never know the Jekyll and Hyde. The Knicks definitely should be up for these next 2 games. Losing today, stopping a losing streak, getting back at these Pacers who walloped us the game before, and then getting that revenge game on the Magic. We should definitely be up on those games. And
exactly, and if the Knicks win both of those games, they'll be 9-6, which is still a pretty decent record at this point in the season. So I'm hoping that they can win those next 2 games.
Absolutely, man. Salute to the chat, man. Let me just shout the chat real quick. Everybody breathe. Shout out to Frank Sound. Says shout out to Jay Ellis being able to still smile. I wish I could. I'm so pissed and disgusted by our stupid hero ball approach. Yeah, man. I was doing all the grunting behind the scenes, and I put the camera on. I was like, "Here we go, here we go." all you gotta do is smile sometimes. But shout out to you, man. Thanks for the compliment. Shout out to Knicks Nation TV. Shout out to Mariano Neto. Shout out to Picks for Timmy. Shout out to Keenan Lambert. He says, "I want to move Fournier." I'm done with it. James Johnson says, "Kemba's knees are done arthritis." Ouch.
Yikes.
It says Kemba and Fournier can't play together. Adele Chapman says, "I'm hoping we get Rokas in here. Obi is emerging. We need him out there." Yeah, Rokas. I like Rokas, man.
Yeah.
I like Rokas.
Most definitely.
All right. Let's go. Okay, it looks like we're having streaming issues now, too. It's one of those nights, guys. Next caller up. State your name, where you from. I think we got Craig next.
Yeah, what's up, Jay Ellis?
What's going on, Craig?
How you feeling, man?
What's going on? Talk to me, man. How you feeling, bro?
Well, just so you know, this can be depressing. You ever have those moments like you feel as though you have a certain routine that you have personally at home, where you have a particular cup you drink out of, they win.
Mm-hmm.
If you sit up a certain position, they win. If you allow something that you didn't do, they lose.
Right.
I try not to let all that superstition thing take over, because it's basically the boys out there on the court. Here's my thing. I was kind of disturbed of how, first, when they took Kemba out, why don't you just if he's rocking, if he's on fire, don't put him out. Don't throw water on him and take him out. Keep running him until he can't shoot no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Fire. He was on fire. It was like, blow the whistle, and they pulled him out. I was like, no, don't take him out. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I usually think the same thing. Like, hey, Kemba's on fire. Don't take him out. But because he was Kemba, I was worried about his minutes. I was like, oh, maybe we should take him out. I was thinking that. I'm not gonna lie.
What I'm saying? Yeah. Let him just, we know we're gonna sit him and get him his rest, but he wasn't playing like he was tired. He was playing like he was on fire. If he shows if he's throwing up stuff and it's not going in, then yeah, it's time to give him a break. Blow the whistle, take him out.
Yeah.
But and then here's the second thing. I'm really disturbed that we paid Fournier all of that money to do a certain thing and be that shooter that we all anticipated, especially like when he balled in the Olympics. We were really excited, because he could ball out. And finally, even when he was with who was it? It was the
Magic.
Florida team.
The Magic.
Magic.
Mm-hmm.
When he was at Magic, he was a Knick killer.
Yeah.
Now he's on the Knicks and he killing us. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing it one way or another, and we expected that when he's going to be for us, that he would show improve and really light it up. But he's not doing anything. And I'm thinking, is it we not using him right?
Yeah.
We not passing him the ball enough to let him run work out all of his kinks, and until a shooter, you're supposed to shoot until if you're off, you just keep let him fly until eventually they start hitting. It's not, he doesn't. I wonder how many shots he takes per game because it's got to be real low, and he's like one of the highest baller on the Knicks.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that's disturbing.
yeah, that's exactly what it is, really. I mean, we kind of talked about it before. Like, there's not, there's only one basketball. There's only one basketball.
Right.
So when people are playing ball, like sometimes, like not everybody's gonna have that chance to shoot, and Evan Fournier is no exception. That's why I was actually happy at the start of the game because I feel like he was getting some early shots off of some off ball movement. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Like-
and that was one of the things I harped on a lot was move the ball, pass it around, and don't stand, still. Keep it moving. Give the passer a lane to pass you the ball for an open shot. If you're going to be standing there and still, your defender knows where you're at, so he's going to double team you. I think that Julius, he waits maybe a few seconds too late to pass the ball when he's double teamed.
yeah,
And I've noticed also with Julius is that he's not in it. His whole head, his whole demeanor. You see how he's playing like he's depressed? Like, he didn't want to take a shot, and I felt like, okay, well, he's going to let the other guys rock until, when it comes down to crunch time, then he could take over. But he didn't even do that. He's balling with his head down. How's he going to see anybody, to pass it to? You know what I'm saying? When he's missing shots consecutively, then, you start passing the balls to your mates and stuff so that way, you can take advantage. But, it's just depressing, man.
Yeah,
and I know we can do better. But lastly, my thing was that last year when our defense was strong, we had that slump period where, where we would lose in like 3, then win 1, then lose like 3, win 1 more. Then we started going on that the winning streak. I think the biggest we had was a 13-game winning streak. I'm not sure, but I think it's like towards mid-season, hopefully all of the kinks will be worked out.
right.
And my last thing is, what is it? I want Ryan to find out this because he's the man with the stats and the facts.
Okay, I have to repeat the question because he can't hear you. But go ahead.
How many teams lose? When you lose in the third quarter, you pretty much lose the game. Because we're trash, man. We're trash in the third quarter. And that's like, why aren't we hitting anything? What is going on with the third quarter?
Yeah, man, the third quarter of doom has been killing us for a while, man. That's since last year. I feel like that's what's happened since last year. It's not even a this year thing. It's always been a third quarter of doom thing for the Knicks, man. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about at all.
Give you a shout out and thanks for taking my call. Again, press that like button for your boys and subscribe. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking my call again, Jay Ellis. Peace. Be here still.
All right, man. Shout out to Craig, man. Thanks for the. Craig is like, why did we keep losing the third quarter, man? Why? Like, why? Here's the thing I'll say from this though, right? Because he talked about Ryan. I know you can't hear. He talked about Julius Randle, and he looked lackadaisical.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing with Randle. I feel like he's still trying to find out that balance between taking over and passing the ball. I think that's exactly what happened today. The team is playing well in the first quarter without him scoring, so he just concentrated on playing on defense. And then when he tried to take over when the time called for it, and he wasn't really able to. Maybe he's out of the flow or something, but I feel like he hasn't. I feel like he hasn't found that balance between taking over and involving his teammates. And B, I feel like he still hasn't found that synergy between thinking the game and reacting. Because like in that third quarter, we were down 10-1. They were blitzing us with energy, and I saw him. He was thinking the game, and I commend him for trying to think of the game because it worked out in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
But then what happens sometimes when you think the game too slowly, they're just pressuring you. You turn the board over. You just too lackadaisical, and then you turn the ball over. And I think that's the thing that I've seen that's been happening with Randle recently, or at least today. Anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is, man. Long game, man. It was an exciting game, but long game. Here's the thing: gunshots for the second unit. I'm gonna just say the gunshots for the second unit. Gunshots for the second unit. If there's anything we can take away from this game is the first unit had a successful first quarter. There's something in there. Hopefully we can bring that back for the next game. But the second unit, once again, has shown that they can go toe to toe with anybody, and I do feel like if we depending on how we spread the minutes out, because the second unit was gassed in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Maybe we might have to preserve the second unit to close. I don't know. Maybe we have to rewire our thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because there's really no one solution to the issue. It's not like you can look at it and be like, yeah, that's the idea immediately. Like, there's so many different things the Knicks can probably do to fix this issue. It's just a matter of figuring out what works best for the team, and maybe you're going to have to need to have the second unit push back on their minutes a bit to have them fresh for that fourth quarter to close out games.
Maybe.
But at the same time, though, it's like the first unit has to do their job.
Yeah.
Because if we keep the first unit out there longer and they're playing the same way that they're playing at the moment, then the Knicks are going to find themselves. The Knicks are going to find themselves consistently down 10 points, 15 points. Then you expect that second unit to come in now to try to close the gap in lesser minutes.
Yeah.
So it's really a tough thing to figure out right now. But like you said, like, there's glimpses in the first unit.
Yeah.
It's not like it's all terrible. It's just a matter of, I think Thibs need to figure out how does he get that out of the first unit on a consistent basis, those good moments.
Yeah.
Because those good moments are few and far between right now. And with the second unit having to pick up the slack all the time, we're taxing them at the moment. You know what I mean? So I wish I knew the answer. I don't know if it's going to take maybe Thibs shuffling it a little bit, maybe shuffling that first and second unit around a little bit to see if he could get the first unit to a point where, they can stay in games. But at the same time, it's like you don't want to mess up that second unit because they're so dynamic. So
yeah.
It's a tough job. I'm hoping Thibs can figure it out. I hope.
Yeah, this is a toughie, man. Because even though I'm talking about playing the second unit more, Alec Burks splits minutes with Evan Fournier. So like, he pretty much did this game. Alec Burks 25 minutes. Evan Fournier 26 minutes. Julius Randle 32 minutes. I mean, okay, but man, quickly gives you 21 minutes. Obi Toppin, he played 15, which is a lot for Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
Man, coaching is a tough job, man. He's damned if he do, damned if he don't with this team right now.
Yeah,
he really is. He really is. It's like you said, Ryan. It's like you said. It's just the first unit is just gonna have to step up eventually. That's the only way out of this mess. You're just gonna have to figure it out with this first unit and get the defense back in order. And these games are coming out as fast. Usually when you're on a roll, you're not practicing as much. We'll be back home for these next 3 games. So maybe us being home, I think we're off Saturday and Sunday.
Well, that's good for the Knicks. They need that rest.
Yeah. So this might be the time to look over some tape, to actually get a good practice and to fix out these loose kinks and get this first unit ready. Because as good as the second unit has been playing, best 5-man unit in the NBA, we're gonna need to set the first unit to actually do their job at some point.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Knicks Nation TV posted in the chat like the Knicks next 15 games, and honestly, if the Knicks can win their next 3, which is realistic because it's the Pacers, the Magic, and the Rockets, the Knicks should be able to win those next 3 games and get themselves 10-6. But after that, it's going to be rough. And I'll be happy if the Knicks can at least split those next 12 games after those next 3. Because it's going to be a tough schedule after those next 3 games. So
right,
I think the Knicks have to make it a priority. Like, these next 3 games, they cannot slip up because these are some bad teams at the moment, except the Pacers, because the Pacers are, their record says, they're under 500. Their record says they're bad, but the Pacers are sneaky. The Pacers are better than the record is.
Watch these Pacers though. They just had an altercation with the Jazz, so I'm not sure what the fines are or if there's suspensions or whatever. But we gotta find out because last time Miles Turner killed us from 3. Please, Lord, don't let him go off and turn into freaking Dirk Nowitzki the next game.
Exactly.
But you would just hope that's like an outlier. We learn from our mistakes, and we're able to guard him at 3-point line. It would be really helpful to have Noel that game But if you do have Noel game, I can see him just posting him. It'll just be really helpful to have all the horses this game. Just to have options, and Mitch be ready, because I know Mitch don't like guarding that 3-point line. But you gotta be ready.
It's gonna have to against that Pacers team.
Definitely, all the Knicks have to be ready, man. Because like I said before, we are the worst in the NBA at guarding the 3-point line. We allow the most open threes in the league. That has to change.
Definitely.
Yeah, man, that's our show. I'm gonna wrap it up right there. I don't think anybody else is calling right now. Everybody's pissed. They all drinking.
Trying to get out this system.
Yeah, trying to get this loss out the system. But it's all right, man. We still up. We just gotta turn it around. And there's a little bit of success from this first unit. We gotta build on that, and hopefully next game versus these Pacers, we're rejuvenated enough. We are focused enough to get these next games, and pissed enough and have enough pride to not have the second unit once again show up this first unit.
Exactly.
Like, it's time to hose your nuts, first unit. Let's get it. All right?
Facts.
I'm calling it, man. Knicks Pacers, we winning this next one. I'm calling it.
Yeah, I think the Knicks do pretty good when they know a team beats their ass. The Knicks usually they do come back. The Knicks can win that game usually. So I am confident of that Pacers game that Knicks are gonna get that win. Yeah,
the ass whooping on top of the game, the losing streak, they should be motivated enough to win this one.
Yeah.
All right. Naruto Goku says I'm about to light up. Knicks Nation is taking the opposite approach. It's like, I'm chilling with the wine tonight. I don't need the stress. All right, cool. All right, man. That is our show, man. Ryan G. Well, first of all, if you like the show, please hit that like and subscribe button and share with your fellow Knicks Nation peoples. Also, super chats are also welcome. It helps keep the lights on, helps pay for everything that's going on with Knicks Knicks Nation and the Nick of Time show. All right, Ryan G.
Yes, sir.
Let them know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
SIRG is CHILLIN. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan G KOT, and my man Fritz provided the links to the side, so you can just click those links and follow your guy.
Facts.
And I do have a bro pick though.
Oh, let's go. What's good, bro pick? Let's go.
Because since you mentioned Miles Turner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Pacers and Jazz.
Yeah. yeah.
So apparently Rudy Gobert goes up for a layup. Your man Miles Turner wanted to swat that ball into next week and takes a wild swing. Gobert takes exception to it. He drags Miles Turner down by his shorts, drags him to the ground, and then they're like, what the hell, like this and that. So as Gobert is running up the court, Miles Turner decides to like give him a little shoulder to the side. So then all of a sudden, they square up, but instead of punches being thrown, instead they hug each other to the ground.
Bruh.
Ryan, I'm not. Listen, they're actually smart for hugging each other to the ground. All right, They're actually smart, because if they actually threw punches, the repercussions would be a lot worse.
Yeah, it would be
a lot worse. So I'm not. Yeah, you throw balls outside of the court. You don't throw balls there, because that's when the suspensions and the fines really come. So
Exactly, but I just found it funny that they it kind of like had like a little tug of war or something like that, and they just wrestled each other to the ground. And it was just funny to look at.
Yeah, I feel it was funny watching them kind of like wrestle. Like, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I feel it. It was a little bit weird. It was a little bit weird. Yeah. Where's Raw been? Raw he'll be back. He will be back. He was supposed to be here Monday. He wasn't able to do it. It was like he has like a child's birth, his kid's birthday to do, and Fridays he's not able to do Fridays and Saturdays. So his schedule has gotten busier, but he'll be back. But shout out to Raw, man.
Yes, sir.
Yep, that is our show. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you're loving the show. All right. And yeah, you already know where you find Ryan G. You can find us, Nick of Time Show, at the KOT Show on Twitter. the Nick of Time Show on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, also, you know what to do, man. If you want to get the snapbacks, the KOT snapbacks are available. That's another way to support the show. At the nicktimeshow.com/catalog, right? So if you go to nicktimeshow.com, you can see our blog. If you go to nicktimeshow.com and click the catalog, it takes you to the merch, and you can get your KOT snapback in blue and orange and black and white. All right? That is up. That's what's up. That is our show. We are out of here. And wait. Oh, yeah. And as always,
Shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
it's a mess out here, especially for the Knicks defense. All right?
Peace.